The 2025 NFL draft class is really starting to take shape. And guys, we are starting to get a little bit more focus on what it is that the Kansas City Chiefs might be pursuing in the draft by the players they are going on basically official visits with. And it seems to be that there is some emphasis on offensive line, obviously, but also the defensive line. And so I wanted to take a look at three different prospects today, two of them highlighted by Ron Kopp. And then I wanted to take in another guy that I think is probably a fifth round pick, but I think offers some upside. So, in an article titled Four Defensive Prospects That Stood Out as the NFL Scout at the NFL Scouting Combine, these NFL draft prospects strengthened their case to be drafted by the Chiefs in April from Arrowhead Pride by Ron Kopp. We'll only be looking at the two defensive linemen that made this list. The article begins like this. The Kansas City Chiefs have a lot of decisions to make this offseason. There is a scenario where the results of free agency lead to the defense being the priority in the 2025 NFL Draft. This past weekend, the Chiefs and the NFL community were locked in at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. From Thursday to Sunday, prospects were drilled and tested to provide a more clear picture of this year's class. The Chiefs could be eyeing all positions for defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo. Here are four defensive prospects that stood out from this weekend. Edge rusher Landon Jackson. Guys, this man had an incredible combine. The Chiefs will always have an eye on long, space-eating edge defenders in a draft class. At the scouting combine, edge rusher Landon Jackson measured in at 6 feet 6 inches tall and 264 pounds. Very good numbers there. His arm length was measured at 33 1/4 inches, and his hand size was 10 inches. Decent number here. It's a good number for an edge. It's a decent number for a guy who's 6'6". And then the 10-inch hands. It is strange seeing this season we have seen more emphasis on the hand size. It used to be a quarterback thing, and then it became a quarterback and wide receiver thing, and then we kind of understood that it had been an offensive line thing all along, and now they're just putting hand size on every article written about the draft, no matter the prospect. So it is interesting to see that evolution. Next, we will have a whole lot of people talking about the 20-yard short shuttle and the three-cone drill. The 4.68 result on the 40-yard dash was impressive to see with that lumbering profile. But his explosive testing stole the show. He topped all defensive linemen and linebackers by hitting 40.5 inches on the vertical leap. 40.5 inches. He finished second among edge defenders in broad jump, 10 feet 9 inches. It's a weird sentence. Jackson fits well in the Chiefs' defense at the defensive end position. He would become a more intriguing option if the team elects not to re-sign veteran Charles Omenihu. I think whether or not they bring Charles Omenihu back, Landon Jackson would not disappoint me as a draft pick. NFL.com has him ranked as a 6.35, will eventually be a plus starter. There again, you have those numbers 6'6", 264, 33.25 inch arms, and 10-inch hands. These are the numbers on display here. 4.68 40-yard dash, a 1.65 10-yard split, a 40.5 inch vertical, a 10-foot 9 inch broad jump. These are incredible numbers. Now, will they translate to the field? Will he bring his athleticism onto the field in the NFL, or is it something that finds itself left on the sideline mysteriously the way that some of these players do? We have yet to see. But those are incredible numbers. Sub 4.7 40, a 1.65 10-yard split with a 40.5 inch vertical and a 10-foot 9 inch broad jump. Just wild numbers. Then the article goes on, defensive tackle Ty Robinson, Nebraska. The former Nebraska Cornhusker is not among the top names in the class, but defensive tackle Ty Robinson put his name out there in Indianapolis. At the scouting combine, Robinson measured in at just over 6 feet 5 inches tall, weighing 288 pounds. His arm length came in at 32.5 inches, and his hand size was 10 inches. Among defensive tackles, Robinson finished with the fastest 40-yard dash time at 4.83 seconds. He also had the third fastest 10-yard split, 1.71, among his position group. Additionally, Robinson finished fourth in the vertical leap with 33.5 inches, second in the broad jump, 9 feet 11 inches, and third in the three-cone drill with 7.58 seconds, and tied for second in the bench press reps with 28. Over 6 seasons at Nebraska, Robinson accumulated only 12 sacks. However, he was active in all facets of the defense in the 2024 season. Just last year, Robinson earned 7 sacks, 13 tackles for loss, 4 passes defensed, and 1 forced fumble. Robinson has the profile of a versatile defensive tackle, and the Chiefs need bodies on the interior. This could be a strong match on draft weekend. Depending on where it would be that you had to take him, I would definitely be interested. 6'5", 288 pounds, that looks like a light guy at defensive tackle. 32.25-inch arms, that's a bad number. 10-inch hands, decent. But a 4.83 40-yard dash, a 1.71 10-yard split, 33.5 vertical, 9'11" broad jump, 7.58 three-cone drill, 4.5 short shuttle, and 28 reps on the bench press. Now, the obvious comparison here to make is Braden Fisk. Last year, he had productivity concerns coming out of Florida State and ended up being drafted in the second round by the Rams, pick 39 overall. After coming into the combine 6'3" and 5/8 inches, that's shorter than our prospect this year, 292 pounds, a little bit heavier, 31-inch arm length, a little bit shorter arms, 9 3/8-inch hands, a little bit shorter, smaller hands, 4.78 40-yard dash, that is 5/100ths of a second, or 4/100ths of a 5/100ths of a second, faster, but still, that's right on par, with a 1.68 split, 2.79 20-yard split, a 4.37 20-yard short shuttle, a 33.5-inch vert, that is the same number, a 9'9" broad jump, 2 inches shorter than the prospect this year, and 26 reps, which is 2 fewer than we had this year as well. From Robinson, I was going to say something, lost myself. Anyway, this is what Braden Fisk did in his rookie season. 44 tackles, 8.5 sacks, 10 tackles for loss, 10 QB hits. That was what he did in his rookie season. So sometimes it really is just about getting a guy in the right place at the right time. So this is a very intriguing prospect out of Nebraska. Reminds me a lot of Braden Fisk and the way that he took the combine by storm last year. Now, the last name I want to look at, Jah Joyner, the edge out of Minnesota. He's 6'4" 1/4 inches, so he's about an inch taller than George Karlaftis. He's 262 pounds, so 4 pounds lighter than George Karlaftis. 34-inch arms are basically an inch and a half longer than George Karlaftis. 9 3/8-inch hands, about an inch shorter than George Karlaftis. 4.6 second 40-yard dash is 11/100ths of a second faster than George Karlaftis. However, the 1.67 10-yard split is 3/100ths, 2/100ths of a second slower than Karlaftis. Here's the big difference, and this is where these numbers, these are numbers that are often neglected outside of scouting circles. The 20-yard shuttle for Karlaftis was 4.34. That's how you turn the corner at edge. 4.68 for Jah Joyner. So he's got some stuff to work on. 30-inch vertical jump. Karlaftis put up a 38, but here's the thing. Karlaftis was a first-round pick and has lived up to being a first-round pick. Jah Joyner, I think, is about a fifth-round guy. If you can get Jah Joyner around the fifth round, I think he provides solid upside at the edge position for your defense. That is all I have for this video. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other Kansas City Chiefs fans. And if you find yourself here by chance but not design, the Chiefs are the only thing I talk about on this channel, dropping multiple videos every single week, and I hope to have you back for the next one.